Imagine you have 100 rupees, and every hour, exactly half of your money just disappears. Poof. After 1 hour, you have 50 rupees. Then after another hour, you're down to 25. Then 12 rupees and 50 paise. This endless halving process sounds kind of scary, right? Well, surprisingly, this is exactly how radioactive substances decay in the real world. It honestly sounds like the world's worst magic trick. But seriously, this is the basis of a fundamental, absolutely crucial concept in chemical kinetics and nuclear science called half-life. Welcome to today's Explainer, where we're going to break it all down for you. Here is our roadmap for today. We'll start with the mystery of half-life, then look at the mathematical secret behind it. After that, we'll explore radioactive decay and carbon-14 and see how it affects medicine and the environment. Finally, we'll wrap up with some essential tips for acing those JEE and NEET exams, plus a quick revision. If you're a Class 12 student, you definitely want to stick around for those cheat codes at the end. All right, Section 1, the mystery of half-life. Before we get into the complex equations, let's lock down the precise definition you'll need for your CBSE board exams. So half-life, which is written as a T with a little half subscript, and we pronounce it T-half, is literally just the time it takes for the amount or concentration of a substance to drop to exactly half of its starting value. At its core, T-half is really just a built-in timer for how quickly a substance disappears. Let's visualize this over time. Say we start with exactly 100 grams of a substance. We hit the timer. After exactly one half-life passes, we are left with 50 grams. Hit the timer again. After a second half-life, which is the exact same amount of time as the first, that 50 grams drops to 25 grams. Third half-life, 12.5 grams. Fourth, 6.25. Do you see the pattern? Every single time that equal interval passes, you lose exactly half of what you had. Which brings us to Section 2, the mathematical secret. This intuitive halving concept makes total sense for money or a chocolate bar. But how does it translate into actual chemical equations? Like, how do we calculate this in a lab? Well, that gives us one of the absolute most important formulas in chemical kinetics, especially for first-order reactions. You'll want to memorize this right now. T-half equals 0.693 divided by K. That K right there, that represents the rate constant of the reaction. And there's a really cool mathematical secret hiding in plain sight here. Because K is on the bottom in the denominator, half-life is inversely proportional to the rate constant, meaning a large K mathematically guarantees a super fast reaction, which gives us a much smaller half-life. It vanishes quickly. But a small K, that means a slower reaction, giving us a larger, longer half-life. Let's put some numbers to it, just like you'll see on a test. Step 1, let's say your rate constant K is 0.2 inverse seconds. Step 2, you literally just plug it into the formula, so T-half equals 0.693 divided by 0.2. Step 3, do the simple division, and boom, T-half equals 3.465 seconds. That means every 3.5 seconds, half of this specific substance will vanish. Pretty simple, right? Moving on to Section 3, radioactive decay and carbon-14. Because this exact same kinetic math doesn't just work in a beaker. It applies beautifully to naturally occurring radioactive decay too. Look at how identical these two formulas are. For chemical kinetics, we just said it's T-half equals 0.693 over K. For radioactive decay, it's T-half equals 0.693 over lambda. The only difference is the symbol. We swap out the K for the Greek letter lambda to represent the decay constant for radioactive substances. This works perfectly because radioactive decay naturally follows first-order kinetics. And this is literally how scientists date the ancient world. Take carbon-14. It's a radioactive isotope with a massive half-life of 5,730 years. If we started with 100 grams of carbon-14 at year 0, it would take 5,730 years just to reduce down to 50 grams. Another 5,730 years, bringing us to year 11,460, to drop to 25 grams. By measuring how much carbon-14 is left in a fossil, archaeologists run this exact timer backward to estimate its age. Section 4, medicine and the environment. Half-life isn't just for fossils and textbooks. It heavily dictates our daily lives outside the lab. Oh, absolutely. Think about the medicine we take. If you take a 100 milligram drug that has a 6-hour half-life, doctors know that after 6 hours, 50 milligrams remain. After 12 hours, 25 milligrams. This is exactly how they calculate your dose amount, how often you should take your pills, and the whole duration of your treatment. Outside the hospital, environmental scientists use this same math to figure out how long it takes for harmful pesticides to break down, when pollutants will be clear from rivers, and to calculate the safe storage duration for dangerous nuclear waste. All right, Section 5, Acing JEE and NEET exams. If you are preparing for these competitive exams, listen up. This is where you gain your edge with tips, tricks, and serious cheat codes. Okay, the crucial shortcut is right here. Look at the amount remaining column. 100%, 50%, 25%, 12.5%, 6.25%, 3.125%. You need to hardwire this exact pattern into your brain. When an exam question says a substance has dropped to 12.5%, your brain should instantly go, that is exactly 3 half-lives. Recognizing these percentages immediately is a massive time saver. You won't even need to touch your calculator for the long equations. And let's crush a very common exam myth right now. Mistake number 1, thinking that half-life depends on the initial concentration. Reality check. For first-order reactions, half-life remains absolutely constant. It does not care if you start with a mountain of material or a single speck of dust. If the half-life is 10 minutes, it will take 10 minutes to halve, regardless of the starting amount. Don't let trick questions fool you.
Here are a few more traps to avoid so you don't throw away easy marks. First, always check your units for K. If K is in inverse minutes, your T-half will be in minutes. Don't mix up seconds and hours. Second, don't confuse the percentage remaining with the percentage decayed. Read the question carefully. And finally, as we just saw, remember that 3 half-lives means 12.5% is remaining. Don't divide 100 by 3 and think it's 33%. Halving is an exponential curve, not a straight linear drop.
Section 6, Quick Revision Summary. Let's bring it all home with a rapid-fire recap to lock these core concepts straight into your memory. Here are your golden rules. Definition. T-half is the time required for a substance to reduce to half its initial amount. The first-order formula you must know. T-half equals 0.693 divided by K. The radioactive decay formula is its identical twin. T-half equals 0.693 divided by lambda. The key property, half-life remains constant for first-order reactions. It doesn't change based on your starting amount. And finally, this math connects everything from drug elimination in medicine to carbon dating in archaeology to tracking environmental pollution. Which leaves us with a pretty fascinating question to ponder. Based on the math we just learned, how many thousands of years will radioactive nuclear waste truly remain dangerous in our environment before it safely halves away? It's a massive real-world problem scientists are tackling today. Well, if this explainer helped you understand half-life, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with your friends preparing for CBSE, JEE, and NEET. Comment below and tell us which chemistry chapter you'd like us to cover next. Keep studying, and we'll catch you next time.